Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer.
Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and we have got a little bit of pride happening here today. We're having a look at a knife here that the first time I saw this knife was, I don't know how many years ago. It was on Nick Shabazz, his channel, and he raved about this. And, he had a lot of nice things to say about this knife. And I have to say, after that video, I have to believe that the North Arm Knife Company, their orders went through the roof after that, because Nick had that kind of sway back in the day, and even still now. I mean, he's a very, very trusted knife reviewer. And I gotta say, since I first saw that on his channel, I have wanted one of these. And I wanted specifically one that had the CNC finish on it. Now, they don't do the CNC finish anymore. This happens to be a Skaha 2 from North Arm Knife Company out there in glorious BC, Canada. And I've always wanted one of these knives, and I was kind of wondered too. I was a little bit worried, a little bit hesitant to get one of these knives, because sometimes when people review things online and then it blows up, and then everybody's all like, "Oh, geez, do I really, is it gonna meet what I've made it out to be in my mind?" And I have to tell you, this one has. Oh my goodness, what a absolutely sweet, sweet, sweet knife. And I'm not saying that just because they're fellow Canuckers, they're fellow Canadians. I'm saying this because this is an extremely well-built, well-designed, well-executed knife, and it absolutely blows me away. Okay, so let's have a look at this here. Let's kind of go over the old kind of tech things here. Let's just see here. Where did I have it? I had it here somewhere. What the kind of specifications were on it. All right, specifications. The specifications. All right. Overall length is 7.75 inches, and we'll compare it to a couple of small manufactured North American knives. Here we have the TRM Atom, and then we also have here the Tactile Maverick. Both of these are kind of small. They're not like, none of these are just absolutely big, gigantic companies who manufacture their things, not caring about quality and stuff like that. All three of these manufacturers care about quality, and this just gives you an idea of kind of the whole size of it. And you can see here they've all kind of got that EDC sweet size in it, where the North Arms here seems to be just a little bit smaller than the other two. Let's see, the blade length is 3.3 inches. The overall weight here is 2.7 ounces. Now, the G10 version is 3 ounces. This one happens to be the carbon fiber version at 2.7 ounces. And it is so ungodly smooth. I just don't get it. Now, the new blades come in CPM MagnaCut, where this happens to be the older style, the S35VN, as you can see here. And this, the one that I absolutely wanted is I wanted the one with the CNC marks on it. And that's what these are, these little lines here. And it's just something that just, I think, absolutely looks spectacular. But now they've gone to just kind of a polished a blade now without these CNC marks. Now, I have to say that these blades were all CNC'd on a machine. They were all individually ground blanks. Not ground, sorry. They were all individually CNC'd, and then they would go to a polishing station, and then they would be fitted. Now, I guess the new ones are ground, and they're completely flat. Now, I have to say, probably the reason that they did that, I looked on their website, and it didn't say why they ended up switching, but I would have to guess that they've become that successful that they've just gone ahead and, in order to meet demand, you have to sacrifice something. And I think what got sacrificed was these little mill marks, because it is easier to take, I think, a row of, say 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 of these and kind of grind them all out in a big round machine than it is to have each individual one CNC machined. And you could say, well, let's just get a bunch more CNC machines. Those things are crazy expensive. They're like tens of thousands of dollars. So I have to think that's why they ended up switching from this CNC to the ground blade. And it's a shame, because this kind of, to me, was their trademark, was their kind of, it just adds that little bit of flavor from a great Canadian company. And unfortunately, economics, I think, won out in the end. But from what I've heard, everything else is still the same. Excellent action, excellent design, excellent fit and finish. They've just lost that little bit of, I would have to say, panache. And to me, that's why I held out for so long. I ended up trying to find one of these, and I did. A gentleman by the name of Mr. Freeman, I'm not going to say his first name, he ended up switching me. We ended up doing a little bit of a trade here. I traded him what did I trade him? A Benchmade mini Crooked River, or a smaller Crooked River. That's what I ended up trading him for this. And this one happens to be the S35VN with the CNC machine marks and the carbon fiber. And I got to say, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I have to say that I do apologize, Mr. Freeman. My knife had a couple of marks. Was not was something I just happened to miss. Wasn't trying to put one on you. I just told him I'd give him a little bit of a shout out and apology, and that's what he deserves. But anyway, let's go over this carbon fiber. Now, this knife here there's no voids in it whatsoever. It is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The fit and finish on this knife is excellent. The only thing, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a little bit of a kind of a, now it looks like, I don't know if there was maybe perhaps a little bit of a void there, and they just kind of smoothed it all out. That is the only thing that I can see on this. And I think that is something that when you're dealing with carbon fiber, that's what it is. And most people probably wouldn't care, and I don't really care. I just had to show it because it is absolutely perfect. Other than that, their carbon fiber is magnificent. I love the feeling. Now, I've said it on a few other knives before that there's carbon fiber that looks great, but there's also carbon fiber that feels great. And this feels excellent. It feels rich, is the only way I could say it, is that this carbon fiber has got a smooth, rich feeling, and I absolutely love it. What was the other one that I really, really liked? I think it was the Spyderco Capara. So if you've felt their carbon fiber, it's got like a rich, warm feeling. I don't even know how to explain it because carbon fiber is not all the same. And this one, they did an excellent job with it. Now, let's just see what else here we got here. Now, the blade thickness here is 2.5 millimeters, and that's normally not my bag. I like things that are really butch and kind of a thick stock, but this one here is excellent. The way that they put this together is fantastic. Now, it's a fully flat ground blade, and they say now that it's got a 30-degree angle. And I got to say, this thing here, I was told by the old owner that he just took it out and kind of flicked it once in a while. It has the factory edge on it, and I have to say that it is gloriously sharp. I did strop it a little bit because I like having that little bit of a freshly stropped bite to it. And this one, and I did go through a couple of pieces of cardboard with this, and it just whisked right through. If you've got a 2.5 mil thick blade that is super sharp, doesn't matter. It's going to go through cardboard like an absolute whiz. It did. The jipping on here is excellent too as well. The overall ergonomics is phenomenal on this knife. Now, I've got the big double XL hands, and it kind of really envelops. It's nice in my hand. These scales here they've kind of got a rounded kind of feel to them, and they've got, of course, something here which is not always everybody's favorite, the wire clip, which just surprises me because the wire clips that I've had are absolutely excellent. And it's got good rigidity to it. Now, to me, this knife sticks in the pocket extremely well. It disappears in the knife. It doesn't have the flipper tab on it isn't like kind of a pocket pecker. It's just an excellent, excellent flipping knife. Now, that's where this knife totally shines. They have got this pivot dialed in. They've got their D10 absolutely dialed in, and they're going with a flat D10 ball. I'm not exactly sure 100% what that does, but in this iteration, it means it's extremely smooth, and it just rockets out. I mean, this knife, it would be hard to kind of fail this. It would be hard to kind of fail the flip on here. It just catches and it rockets right out. Now, the other thing too as well is for such a slight blade. Now, there are blades out there that are going to be, 4 or 5 mil thick that are going to be just hunks of steel that they'll drop shut because of just the weight. When you've got a knife that is less than 3 ounces, and a blade that this thin, and if it is, kind of that shake, shut, drop shuttiness, you know that you've got an extremely well built, well tuned, dialed in knife. No side to side, no up and down, no nothing. Just overall spectacular knife, and I cannot recommend this knife much. If you're a knife collector, if you're a knife guy, and even if this knife isn't your bag, you got to put one of these in your pocket. You got to put one of these in your collection. It is absolutely fantastic. Now, I looked at what it would cost to do this knife in a manual cut right now, and I think it's $330 Canadian, which is an absolute steal. Now, I just want to make sure that that's right, because I keep on, yes, it is $330 Canadian. Let's do it right now with the carbon fiber. That adds $52.80. What's the end of it? It's $316 USD. Man, oh man, you just can't beat that type of this knife for that. I'm sure that you can go out there and you can probably spend $60 or $70 and get a knife that'll just cut just as well, but it will not feel the same. It won't have this rocket out. I don't know. It just will not feel the same. You can't put this level of, I think, R&D and finish into a knife that costs $80, because this thing here is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And of course, they had to have the lanyard hole. Don't, if it didn't have a lanyard hole, I mean, I would still probably carry this. That's how nice it is. And that's how much that I can't. I'm just raving about this thing. It's just like, oh my goodness, why don't you just marry it? Well, I think damn well, if I could, I would. Now this here, let's just see here. Let's have a look here. Now this is a small kind of boutique shop. At least, they started out that way. There's a couple of boys here, John Goodmanson and his son Michael Goodmanson. They're out there in BC, and it looks like you can just head into their shop too as well. They've if you look on YouTube, or if you look on their website, which I'm going to put inside the link there, if you want to order this knife, or you want to order some of the other, they've got some outdoor fixed blades, and they've also got some kitchen knives, which I think I'm going to, my wife and my daughter and my son and all my kids, they ask me every year what I want, and I kind of tell them, I want this or want that. I'm going to put some North Arm kitchen knives on my wish list, because if they make their kitchen knives half as good as they made this folder, I got to put one in my knife block. Just absolutely have to. Please check out this Canadian company. If you're looking for a folder, if you're looking for a fixed blade outdoor knife, or you're looking for some kitchen knives, and by the way, I didn't get nothing from these guys. I never talked to them. I'm just raving on it because I absolutely love this knife. Do not pass one of these up. If you're a serious knife collector, or even kind of a half-assed knife collector, put one of these in your collection. You will not be sorry. So, please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice. The shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.